Vous souhaitez la bienvenue à notre consultation publique ici à l'Université Saint-Paul sur le projet de loi d'initiative parlementaire C-373 et un ministère fédéral de la paix au Canada. Nous voulons remercier tous nos invités pour votre participation aujourd'hui. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our consultation, our public consultation here at St. Paul University this afternoon. And we would like to thank our participants for their joining us this afternoon. If you will allow me, I would like to introduce each of them, and I have some biographies that they have been kind enough to forward. I will begin with Paul Dewar, who is a member of... Please feel free. Please feel free to applaud. Paul Dewar is the Member of Parliament for Ottawa Centre in the Canadian House of Commons. He is the New Democratic Party's Foreign Affairs critic and a member of the Canadian Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs. He is the former chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for the Prevention of Genocide and Other Crimes Against Humanity. Paul was first elected to the Canadian Parliament in 2006, was re-elected in 2008, and again won re-election in 2011. I detect a bit of a streak there, Paul. Excellent. Paul has traveled to Iraq, where he participated in a conference titled Practical Federalism in Iraq, to Morocco, Afghanistan, and to Lebanon, where he acted as an election observer with the National Democratic Institute. He also traveled to the Democratic Republic of the Congo as part of a delegation focused on aid, development, and peace building. Paul was in Qatar for the Doha Forum on Development, where he shared a stage with vice presidents of Spain and the EU Parliament to advocate for increased participation by rich and emerging economies in battles against poverty and climate change. Recently, he traveled to Brazil to attend the workshop and forum organized by the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. Paul has also been a strong advocate for the arts, rallying support for the National Portrait Gallery, initiating the first all-party parliamentary arts caucus, holding an arts summit, and supporting a wide variety of art endeavors and groups in the National Capital Region. Thank you, Paul, for being here. Our next guest and commissioner today is Nicole Charon, who has been an organizational development consultant for the past 25 years. Nicole practices alternative dispute resolution in association with the Canadian Institute for Conflict Resolution here at St. Paul University. Internationally, she has headed up numerous workshops on peacemaking, one person at a time. Nicole has worked in Guatemala and Haiti with Lawyers Without Borders Canada. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us. Our next commissioner is Dennis Grunding. Dennis is an Ottawa-based writer, blogger, and a former member of Parliament. He has worked as a print and television journalist and as a radio host for the CBC. He is the author of 6 books, including the best-selling Great Canadian Speakers. In 2011, he published a book called Pulpit and Politics, Competing Religious Ideologies in Canadian Public Life. Dennis works at the Canadian Labour Congress as the coordinator of media relations. Welcome, Dennis. The applause actually represents that they're getting warmed up, not really a sign of popularity. So don't let that go to your head, Dave. I'd like to introduce Dave Farthing, who is the founding CEO of YouthCAN, Youth Organizing to Understand Conflict and Advocate Nonviolence. He is the recipient of the annual Ron Weeb Restorative Justice Award. Mr. Farthing is dedicated to creating safer communities and schools across Canada, and he is a pioneer in establishing peer mediation and peer counseling groups in high schools across the country. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Staples. Stephen Staples is the president of the Rideau Institute, an independent research, consulting, and advocacy group in Ottawa. He has acted as the director of security programming for the Polaris Institute, and along with Peter Coombs, he is the founder of Ceasefire Canada. Stephen is also a member of Canadian Pugwash Group, the Group of 78, and the International Network of Anti-Nuclear Groups Abolition 2000. Stephen, thank you. And I hope our technical people are going to just help us out with that slight ringing that I'm hearing in my ear, which may be just me. Hopefully not.
If any of the other mics are on, that will...
I think they're all active, actually. I think they're all live. Perhaps our technical
But they should not be.
Yeah, okay. We could turn those off, perhaps. How's that?
It's already better.
This is the moment in the program where we turn off mics. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity now to explain the format for this afternoon. First off, this is the final consultation in a series of consultations that have occurred across the country under the auspices of the Canadian Peace Initiative. The intent of the consultations have been to reach out to the Canadian public in order to hear their views on what we obviously consider to be an important issue. Does Canada need a Department of Peace? I have asked each of our speakers, or each of our peace commissioners, to take 7 minutes to present their opening comments. Following that, we have, I believe, up to 17 individuals or groups who have prepared a presentation, which they will then present. I would ask those presenters to come to this podium as we are recording today's proceedings and would like to capture all of their comments. After the individual who has made their presentation has completed presenting, I will open the floor to any questions or comments relative to those remarks that our commissioners might have for the presenter. I will try to the best of my ability, to moderate and to ensure that it doesn't run 74 minutes. That's an inside joke for anyone who was here last night or at our presentation last night. And if you were running, Dr. Mackay did run 74 minutes. Am I right, Case? But it was excellent. It was well done. I'm going to then, at the conclusion of all the presentations and the back and forth that may occur between our peace commissioners and the presenters, ask each of them to take 4 minutes to offer concluding remarks. And again, I will do my best to, in the most peaceful manner possible, moderate and ensure that we don't go over our time limit. So I will ask in the following order that the commissioners make their comments. Paul Dewar, followed by Dave Farthing, followed by Stephen Staples, to be followed by Dennis Grunding, and in conclusion, Nicole Shaw.